Are you trying to build the best team in Madden? Well, go today and avoid the packs and save some racks. Head on over, use code CC for 15% off. Hey, what is going on, Madden family? We are back doing rankings. Again, this ranking is based on the date. This is going to be out January 22nd. If you see this in the future, these rankings might not still be viable. They might even change by the time the weekend comes and the Super Bowl promo hits. But we want to do this. We're going to do cornerbacks today. We did quarterbacks first. I'm doing this again. And I feel like cornerback is a good place because we're going to use a couple of them, right? So even though we're going to get some new cornerbacks probably pretty soon, we can still really use this list and talk about it. And we're only ranking those base 94 and up. Okay. There's some lower cards which will probably be in some of these B and C tiers still as well. So understand that. Not all these cards are super cheap. Some of them are a little expensive. But let's go over it. And again, I'm assuming if you can power the card up, we're talking about it powered up, right? You can't power the card up, it's probably a bit of a hit on the card in my opinion. We know that power-ups will come and they do come for cards, but sometimes they just don't, and by the time the power-up comes, the card necessarily isn't viable anymore. So let's talk about my favorite one so far, and that is Tre'Davious White. He is S tier. He goes up at the top. Okay? He does everything very well. He plays very, very good. I'm super impressed with how he plays. The balls he gets to, the corner routes he plays sometimes, not all the time, but he does play them sometimes. One big thing when you look at his card, he's got like no jumping, and I've told you guys, and if you've listened, jumping is fake. It doesn't matter. Jumping is a fake stat. Jumping is fake. Don't worry about that. If you can get Tre'Davious White, get him. Really, really, really good card. Another card that is a little older, but I'm gonna put up here at the A tier. But you could honestly put him at S as Deion for all things corners can do in the game. He does them almost perfectly. Where he lacks is in the physicality part of the game, the run game. So that's the only reason he's down a little bit from a straight coverage standpoint. I love this card. Deion still plays well. He gets the balls. When he gets to the ball, he's usually gone. We love that about him. He's pricey. He's more expensive than Tre'Davious as well. So keep that in mind when you are building your team. Obviously, Deion's probably going to get the better card at the end of the year, but he's already pretty close to that 99 speed, 99 XL, 99 agility, 99 man, 99 zone. He's pretty close to all that already. So you're not going to see a huge difference. It's not like he's going to get this gigantic boost in his physical stats, his strength, his block shot, his hit power. Those things won't really come about. Another corner that I've really liked is Jason Sehorn. I put him up there, not quite with Tre'Davious White, but he is right up there for me. He makes plays. He's a bigger corner. I believe the game's got him at 6'2". I love him, but he is limited. He should get a redux soon. The rest of his card is very cheap to upgrade. Steam Diamonds were not the most expensive cards in the world, so you're not looking at investing a whole lot in him. Again, his card right now is about 500,000 coins, maybe a little bit more. But he does play really well. He plays really well. Not as well as Tre'Davious, but he does play really well. Hidden stats about him is that he's very physical as well. So he gets off his blocks at times. You know, not run blocking is a little OP. It's a little OP, but it's still okay. We like that. Another card we're going to put up here is Champ. Again, he's pretty much like Sehorn. He's expensive though. We're also talking that 400k range. So but Champ does play really well. We know he's going to get another upgrade for sure. So he's probably a better long-term investment than Tre'Davious. Who knows? But very good. Plays all the routes. Does everything well. I blitz him at times now that he's in the slot for me. He gets home. He's got the good speed and everything. So we really like him. To me, these three are like the top of the line. Like you could sort of play them anywhere, right? Some of these other cards that we're going to talk about, I think you should really play them in specific places or specific zones. A card like Richard Sherman. Sherman is not fast, but if you are a big cover 2 guy, Sherman's a great card to have. He's a really good card to have. Not necessarily in the slot, because a lot of times you're going to want him to trail shallow crossing routes, slants and drags and stuff like that, and he's gonna get burned more so than anyone else. But if you are like, I love cover 2, Sherman's an A tier card. If you're gonna start to play Sherman out wide, deep zones, he's maybe not the best, and he's a B or C tier. A lot of times if I see Sherman pressed up in a cover 3, I'll try to bomb him, and you can actually have a good success rate. You will hear people say, that doesn't happen. But don't forget, he's expensive as well. He's, I think, the most expensive corner on the list, oddly enough. So I'm going to put him in B tier because A, he needs to be used specifically. B, his price is pretty high. But Sherman's cards always play well. What do we want to go next? Jonathan Jones, new Team of the Year card. I believe he's the fastest corner in the game on the back of the card. But he has no agility. Agility is a huge stat for me. I haven't used this card. Normally I wouldn't review a card I haven't used in some capacity. But to me, because his agility is so bad, I'm going to put him in C. Speed matters. If you want a blitzing corner, he might be your guy. He might be your guy. He's easy to get. He's easy to get. Up next, Stephon Gilmore. Again, coverage stats, solid. An okay size corner. But his speed is low. He doesn't offer the speed and the true physicality. I'm going to put him up here in C. I could see you putting him up in B, but if I, for everything, I kind of would prefer someone else. Personally, Casey Hayward, we'll put him up here in this B tier. Team of the Year card, solid. He's solid, not the fastest, better coverage stats. Okay, he's a tick above Gilmore to me. Cool, we'll put him there. I don't have any problem with that. Card that could be higher, should be higher when he gets his power up is Jair Alexander. Great physical stats on the card with the speed, the acceleration, the agility. His coverage stats are a little low. So are Jason Sehorn's. I don't think it truly matters once you get up over 85. A lot of it feels the same. It does matter a little bit. Very, very small matters, but I like his card. His card last year was really, really, really good. Him not having a power up hurts. So I'm gonna put him here at the front of C. If he had a power up, he'd be at B, borderline A. And I think that's fair. Peanut Tillman, he's a balanced corner. He's a really balanced corner. I'm gonna pull up his stats quickly. I want to look at his stats directly as we look at this. He's got like everything at like 90 and 92. Really balanced card. Really balanced card. He's got good speed. His physical stats are even good. He's 6'2". I mean, looking at the card, I like the card, but he's gonna fall up here. I'm gonna put him down here as well. He doesn't stand out. If you got him, he's probably good for you. Otherwise, no. Night Train. We all love Night Train Lane. This card's just a little old now. Otherwise, he's a B tier. He's a B tier corner. Plays well. Does a lot of good things still. But I know, and I've heard from a lot of other people, they don't love the way he plays. I think a lot of times if you play him just in the deep zone, it doesn't really help him out too much. I like him much better as a slot corner. In the past, when I Madden 19 and 18, when I would run 3-3-5, I would put him as the slot corner. And a lot of times I would spy him. He was a really good spy. Or I would put him in a 3-rec hook there, keeping him in the middle of the field, because you want him to be able to hit people on the outside. You don't get as many clean hits. You just really don't. You could play him at safety, but I think as a slot corner, in a 3-rec, pick a formation that has a blitzing slot cornerback, bluff blitz him. You'll see a lot better results from Night Train Lane. A lot better results. Love that. But again, he's just fallen out a little bit. That's okay. The next card, Mel Blount. A lot of us do have him. He was a ghost. A lot of people got him back when they did the set. He's an A tier card. You can play him in the slot. You can play him outside. He's versatile that way. Again, me personally, I like him much, much better in the slot. Very similar to Night Train. He's only above Night Train because this card came out after Night Train. They're basically the same card. El Blunts is just a little bit better. A little bit better, so I'm going to put him up an extra tier because I do think he's the better version. For now, again, really good card. Love it. He plays my slot currently. Opposite Champ Bailey. He's on my team. Deion is on my team as well. Willie Brown is the last one. I don't think a lot of you guys have used Willie Brown. I'm just going to say it. I don't think you have. He's an A tier corner. Willie Brown is surprisingly good. And I'm going to read off some stats to you here. I'm going to read off some stats. So we see we're putting him in A tier. I'm going to take this away so we can look here. I'm on the other account. So Willie Brown. 92 speed, 92 man, or 93 man, 92 zone. He's all 90, right? He's better than Tillman's card. You see he's got a little bit of size on him. A little bit of size on him, right? 70 strength. Pretty good for a corner. The catching, powered up, it's at 80. Good, that's what we want to see right there. Tackling, 70. Also very good. No problems with that whatsoever. His block shedding is going to be over 60. Again, that's fine. His pursuit's over 80. That is good. And his hit power is above 75 as well, which is important. Which is really important. So remember that he's got 78 hit power. We look at a card like Night Train Lane where we feel he's the pinnacle power, right? Hit power specifically. So we look at the back of the card, right? Similar to Willie Brown. Strength, similar to Willie Brown. The catching, similar to Willie Brown. The tackling, similar to Willie Brown. Interesting. The block shedding, 64. Pretty sure Willie's was higher. Pursuit, they're both at 80. And Night Train's hit power is 91. So you can see it's not all that different. But at this part of the game, I look for 75 plus hit power is sort of an ideal spot for a corner. Willie Brown hits that. He's got more speed, better coverage than Night Train. I don't know. I just felt like he played really well too. He's not in my starting lineup, but I still have him. I didn't even sell him because I know when there's another Willie Brown card, I'm going to need that card. Not want, I'm going to need that card. So if there's a card that I feel like maybe he's just a little past his prime, but when he was on the field for me, he was amazing. The fact that I'm willing to keep that card in my binder just to make sure I have it, guarantee that I have it, says a lot about him, in my opinion. So here is where we're going on the list, right here. This is how I would have my depth chart set up. Again, if you have the B and the C guys, I think you're still pretty well off. You're not missing a ton when it comes to cornerbacks. And you got to remember, they're going to come out fast and furious. We've not really had a ton of corners come out. What do we have here? 13 cards released since Thanksgiving. Not that many. Really, it's not. A lot of them are kind of slow. If you didn't have these top 3 cards, you're not really going to miss out a ton. Not quite like tight ends where I feel like they're all the same, but this is the way I want to go with it. Again, there's probably some lower cards which I would play over Gilmore or over Peanut or over Jones. Think of like a Denzel Ward or something like that. I'm going to pull up 92 to 93s here just to have a quick look. You're still here. Like DeAndre Baker. No, the Mike Evans cornerback I've heard was good, but again, no power up. Joe Hayden, Dante Jackson, William Jackson, Ty Lott, The new Steven Nelson that came out, no. The Marcus Peters, Zero Chill, no, he looks like Steven Nelson. Surtain, I thought Surtain played really well. I might put him up there. I'd put him up in the C tier, or Denzel Ward. getting a little bit more speed, less zone coverage. It's fine. But that is our list. If you agree, disagree, let me know what you think. Who is the best corner you've used this year? That's all. That's what I really care about. Put it in the comments below. Who's the best? Not anything else. Just who is the best? I'm out. Peace.